Hi, and thanks for joining us for this Ask the Media video. I'm Kerry Atherton from the British Toy and Hobby Association, and I'm in charge of Toy Fair PR from an operations perspective. Either I or Bastion, who are our Toy Fair PR team, are here to help you maximise your PR coverage at Toy Fair. Shortly, we're going to hear from 3 journalists from various sectors of the media. But first, I would like to tell you about the opportunities available to you as an exhibitor at Toy Fair. Whether your objective is to get a story out at the show, or you simply just want to make contacts for later on in the year. Let's start with the PR manual. If you head to toyfair.co.uk and click on the exhibitors section, you'll see the PR manual. This is your go-to guide for all the PR opportunities at Toy Fair. While I'm going to highlight some of the PR opportunities to you now, make sure you read the PR manual to find out about all the other opportunities available to you at Toy Fair. There are 5 forms to fill out and return to our team at Bastion. Here are the deadlines. The forms give us the information we need to entice the media to attend Toy Fair. They also provide us with the information for Toy Fair's best new toys, the new product guide and the event planner. All forms can be found in the PR manual and should be sent to toyfair@bastion.co.uk. Toy Fair TV and the Demo Zone are fantastic opportunities to get your products noticed at Toy Fair. Hosted by our Toy Fair TV presenters Anna Williamson and Gavin Inskip, our TV channel provides great exposure across the 25 screens at Olympia and on our Toy Fair website. Bastion will be in touch in November, and you'll have until the end of the month to submit your company and products. If you're taking part in Toy Fair TV or the Demo Zone, remember you only have between 2 and 3 minutes, so keep it short and keep it punchy. Our Toy Fair comic is a fun way to promote some of the new products being launched at Toy Fair. Sent to around 1,000 journalists in early January, we create a comic of brand new toy launches to encourage the media to register. The deadline to submit information is the 11th of November. Finally, our goodie bags. 2 bags are created and sent to our top tier media. The first bag is sent prior to Christmas, and small samples need to be sent to Bastion by the end of November to be included. The second goodie bag is distributed at Toy Fair, and Bastion will give you more information on this nearer the time. Okay, so now it's time to hear from the journalists. First up is Kris from Beau's Toy Farm, one of the most successful UK YouTube channels dedicated to toys. Kris is here today to tell us about the challenges and the opportunities of running a YouTube channel, and most importantly, how you can get involved.
Hi partners.
Beau's Toy Farm is a YouTube channel. It's growing quite substantially in size, and it's a program that reviews toys for small kids and young parents.
Exciting news to tell you guys.
What makes us sit up and take notice of a toy is something that I know Beau is going to like and that his age group are going to like. It's important for brands to get in touch with us as soon as possible so that we can get it into the planning stage, into the schedule, and we can launch it at a time that is key for the PR company that they're launching their product out. The length of time to make one of our films usually takes a period of a week, and that's inclusive of scheduling Beau in for filming and making the film, editing it and putting all the effects on it and what have you. And then there's a lot of keyword SEO involved as well, so that we can get a good ranking on YouTube. Any PR companies that would like to talk to Beau's Toy Farm or have us on your stand and have Beau play with your toys, it's best to get that request into us as soon as possible, and then we can schedule it in, set up an appointment, and we'll go and see you at Toy Fair. Things myself and Beau and the team like to see when we go to people's stands is a nice friendly face, somebody there that can talk to us and is happy to talk to Beau in this case. They have an example of the product there that we can see and touch and feel. Well, it was our first year at Toy Fair last year, and Beau was really excited about going. The things that drew us most were the events that were happening that were unusual. We had Andy Ray, the magician, on Marvin's Magic stand. We had the ugliest dog in the world. There was the CBBC Hacker T-Dog that was there. So all these little unusual events happening is a big draw for us, because they're search terms that we can put into YouTube and that kids can find that way, and it draws them into the show and it makes it more exciting. Yeah, we're happy to take B-roll from the brands. Sometimes we can find it useful, especially the high-res images of the product. but usually we like to shoot it ourselves with our own macro lenses, and we can get right up close to the product. That's what the fans like to see. The best way to get in touch with Beau's Toy Farm is on our YouTube channel. You click the About tab, and in there there's an email which is monitored all the time. So one of our team will get back to them straight away. I've told Beau about Toy Fair 2016 and he's really looking forward to going. He can't wait to get there and see what's there this year. So we'll definitely be there, looking forward to it.
Next up is Jess Bulman, Head of Planning at ITV. We asked her about the process of making news for TV, meeting tight deadlines, and a few of the mistakes that PRs make.
ITN, ITV News, we deal with the lunchtime news, evening news, and the news at 10, and then the ITV News website. I'm usually looking for something that's new, newsy. If it's an event such as Toy Fair, it needs to be something that we didn't know last year. What's the latest toy, what's the big thing that everyone's going to be talking about. Pitching for TV is definitely different to pitching for other types of media. It's got to be picture rich. It's all about pictures for us. It's all about interaction with people, and it's all about being able to see what you were trying to tell in that story. The best way to pitch a story to me is primarily first call by email. We do get a lot of emails, so it's important to tailor that and to tell me straight away, top line, what it is you're selling or what it is your story is. Quite often a follow-up call helps as well, but don't bombard me with phone calls. So there's no hard and fast rule, but email's usually the best way to start. So the way that the process works in terms of planning for ITV News is first call would be me or one of my team on the planning desk. We'd have a look at it. If it was something we were interested in, we'd want to know what extra elements you can offer us in terms of relevant case studies is a key one, filming opportunities, access to spokespeople, any extra background information. And once we've got all that, we can take it away to our editorial meetings, to our planning meetings, and then we in turn have to pitch that to our bosses and say this is a story we'd be worth doing. If that then does get commissioned, it will go through our output process, through the programme editors, and they'll put their own spin on the story. So if the bare basis of a story is there and the bare elements of a story are there, then and it's a good story, then you're onto a winner from the start, and it's easy to turn that into something that makes good telly. I would say that the biggest mistake PRs make is not knowing who you're pitching to. There is nothing more annoying than getting a phone call from somebody trying to sell you a story and they don't even know what your programmes are. And they haven't even bothered to have a look at, exactly what ITV News is or what type of programming you do. So the type of stories that would be interesting to us from something like Toy Fair is what's new in the world of toys. How are say for example, how's technology changing how kids are interacting with toys, educational things, what is that influencing, and just new and innovative stuff that's happening. It's a kind of place where there's colour going on, there's things happening that make quite a nice live element, especially into lunchtime news. It's the type of thing that would appeal to our lunchtime news viewer. And then for digital, we have licence to be a little bit more creative, do things a little bit differently. And if there's good content, then they will run as much as they want to run that gets punted out to Facebook and Twitter and the mobile app as well. The earlier you can come to us with a story, with a pitch, the better. So already I'm thinking about next January, I'm thinking through further ahead through till this time next year. So if you know exactly what the idea is and know that a month in advance, 2 months in advance, come to me as soon as you do, because then we can be thinking about how we treat things down our side of making it into a story.
Finally, it's Dan Jones, consumer editor at The Sun. We spoke to him about what it's like to work for a daily newspaper, how he finds an angle for his audience, and what he's looking for on the show floor at Toy Fair.
Hi, so here we are on the Sun floor. You'll probably see behind me people coming into work, getting settled for the day. But actually for a lot of us, me in particular, my day doesn't just start when I get to the office. I'm going to be reading emails in the morning when I wake up, so straight onto the emails, see what's happened overnight, see if the bosses want anything, see if PRs have sent me any good releases or contacts. So it's really useful for me to get emails early as possible in the morning. Toy Fair is massive, it's this huge sprawling event. It's actually fun, I really enjoy it, and I'm sure lots of people go there and enjoy it, but there's so much to take in. So there's a few key things in an email that's going to make me want to read it, defer it till later, or maybe even ignore it if I'm really, really busy. First of all, do I recognise who it's from? That's probably the most important thing. Have I met them before? Have we chatted? Maybe at Toy Fair, or have I had lunch with them? Have I met them at an event? If I know them and have a relationship with them, then I'm going to read it. The subject line is also really, really important. Try and imagine it as a headline in the paper or a link on a website. You know, are you going to want to read that? If it's specific for me, maybe they're offering me an exclusive, make sure you put exclusive in there, because then I know you need my attention for that. You probably need a quick reply. I think once I've opened the email and I'm looking at it, why am I going to want to carry on reading it, and why am I maybe going to want to write it up? Well, it has to be to the point. So either the preamble has to be very much to the point, here's what the story is, get to the point. But also the release or the other stuff, there has to be all the details there. So although I want the start of it to be punchy and to the point, I need to know all the information there. Are the prices there? Are the sales dates? Is there a good quote? Is it a quote that tells me about it, not just an official corporate quote? Pictures, obviously. I mean, maybe we don't want our inbox clogged up with high-res images, but at least have a low-res image there and a link to the high-res ones. Because you never know, sometimes we might be writing up late at night and you've left the office, so, you know, it's useful having that link to high-res images, but also, particularly for toys and a lot of products, it's good to be able to visualise what that looks like. I think coming to Toy Fair, there might be a few things that have piqued my interest, so I'll try and make sure I have time to go and see them. It's always really useful to have a look and play with a toy before you write about it. I also do rely quite heavily on the PR team at Bastion who are organising it, because you know, they're going to bring it all together, they're going to see a trend. They can perhaps look at all of them and say, well, these couple of toys are really standing out. That's really, really useful for me to have that. Each year we get varying amounts of coverage. One year we might get virtually nothing. Another year we get a big page. You might even get a spread, which is 2 pages some years. It really just comes down to how interesting are the toys. Is there a good spread of interesting toys? Is there a brilliant trend? There's no real formula for that. It's just if you've got an interesting toy, or if the organisers see a really interesting trend, just make sure you flag it up to me as early as possible. Have some history on the toy ready to go. You know, if it's a retro one, you know, talk about the history of it. Just plan as much as you can. If you think you've got that really interesting story or trend or toy, just make sure you have all that information at hand. Everything that goes in the paper is going to go online. But what we can do online is maybe do something in more detail. Toys is a good example. If there's, you know, a list of toys at Toy Fair that are going to be big this year, in the paper we might just list them small or use a couple of them. Online we can let it run a bit longer, we can use bigger pictures. But really my focus is getting a good story that's good enough for the paper and online. So 2016 is going to be my 5th or 6th or 7th Toy Fair, I've lost count. But I love going and I'm really going to be looking forward to seeing all you guys there this January.
Thanks to Kris, Jess and Dan for taking the time to speak to us today. That's it from this year's Ask the Media. Don't forget to read the PR manual to find out about all of the opportunities available to you. If you have any questions about the video or opportunities available to you, please contact the Toy Fair team at Bastion.